What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to bring you a video I wanted to do for a while because this is our last nice day of the year, probably in Ohio, because it's supposed to turn colder tomorrow and snow. So I wanted to get out and do another car video before these end, and I probably won't do another one until spring. So I'm going to go through some of the top reasons why I think you should get a Subaru WRX STI versus a standard WRX. This is mostly going to apply to newer models, so 2018 and above. Specifically 2020 is what I'm going to talk about, but it could go back to 2018 if you wanted to look at that. So I've owned the STI for a couple months. I plan on keeping this one. I previously owned the WRX for a few short months. I'm not going to get into why I didn't keep that. That's for a different video, which I've done in the past. I may do an update on it. But some of the top reasons why I think the STI is a better purchase. And the first one is going to be resale value. So when I was shopping, I actually looked at some used STIs in some 2019-18. And the prices on them, while they may not be what they sold for because they were used prices, they were almost the same as getting a brand new base STI. So they don't produce as many the STIs as they do the WRX. So they're harder to find. This one I had to wait, I think, 5 weeks before it came in, before I got it. So you will notice a little bit better resale value, at least from what I've noticed doing research and just looking at the overall market when it comes to WRX and STI. So the second reason is more of a personal preference in that I think it is easier to drive. So the WRX had a tiny bit of rev hang. It was a very weird shifter. It was I like that the shifts were longer, but in the STI, it just feels more linear, easier to drive. The gears are shorter, they are closer together. When you're on the interstate, it's honing at 3,000 RPMs if you're going 70 to 80, but I just think it's a little bit easier car to drive. So my wife drives this on occasion, and she also found that it was easier to drive, and she doesn't drive a manual all that often. Kind of a weird perk, but that's one of my opinions. So the third reason I think this is a better value or a better purchase is while you're paying the extra money for it. So you're getting a better drivetrain. So you're getting bigger brakes, bigger motor. Granted, it's an older motor, but it is pretty well known, easy to work on. Tons of aftermarket support for these things. I don't plan on modding this, but it has a ton of aftermarket support for it. And you're getting 440, I think it's around 40 more horsepower, 40, 50 more horsepower. So you are getting a little bit more muscle there when it comes to the motor. But again, bigger brakes, Brembos, so you get 6 piston in the front, 4 piston in the rear. You are getting 3 differentials, so you get that center electronic differential, which you wouldn't think would make a difference, but this thing handles so much better on the back roads than the WRX did. The WRX was miles above any other car I've driven before, and I've had a 350Z, I've had an old Cobra, Mustang Cobra before, and this thing just handles so much better. The suspension is stiffer, which is something you need to look into, but it just handles so much better on the back road. And that could be a tire thing too. This comes with Yokohamas on it, where the WRX had Dunlops on it. But I'm pretty sure if you're ever tracking or you're thinking about going to a track, this is going to be the car that will hold up a little bit more, because you got bigger brakes, bigger drivetrain, bigger transmission, so you're getting a little bit more beef behind it. So from what I've read, these transmissions are pretty foolproof, pretty safe, and they're not known to break down even for people that are beating them to death. So that's something to look into account when you're doing that. So that's it. The reason why I think the STI is a better purchase than the WRX is that it comes with more standard features than even a premium or a premium with a performance package. So this comes standard with auto unlock, push to start. It comes standard with the LED responsive headlights, and it comes with not the Recaro seats, but I think it comes with more racing oriented seats. So that is probably not a big deal to most people, but it is to me. I actually wanted a WRX premium performance, but it doesn't have auto start stop. It does not have your LED headlights, which is a safety feature. It is a big thing that you notice, especially when you are driving on a lot of backcountry roads, which we do. We have a baby, so safety is a big thing we actually look at there. So that's, again, may not be a big issue for some people, but a base STI is pretty loaded. The only thing you're missing is the automatic front seats, which isn't a big deal for me, but you still get heated seats, push start, and you get those LED headlights, which is nice. That's the reason why I think the STI is a better value than the WRX is I really love the Subaru Rumble. So it has the old 2.5 liter engine, which is, I think it's from 1994. It's a very, very old engine, unequal length headers, so you do have that sound to it. It's one of the most unique sounds in terms of a car. I don't know any other car out there that has unequal length headers. You do have some mechanical issues with that long term, but overall, I really love that, how it sounds. It's one of the best sounding cars out there, and a lot of times I actually will just drive with the radio off, especially coming home from work. It's kind of nice and relaxing, and it's just a very unique sound that you cannot get on the WRX. The WRX sounded a little too tame for me, which you could possibly fix with an exhaust, but this I plan on keeping stock, and the stock exhaust on it I think sounds pretty good. So that's another reason, probably the last one. Yep. That's gonna be the last one. Gas mileage, I've seen tons of videos about people getting 13, 14, 15 miles per gallon, but this thing doesn't get as bad a gas mileage as I was thinking. I usually get 19 to 20 fairly regularly just driving around town. I could probably get 24, 25 on the interstate if I tried, but while the WRX gets better gas mileage, I don't think this one, if you're not driving very, very long distances, is a downfall. So that's it, guys. That's why I think the STI is a better value than the WRX. Obviously, go out and test drive both. If you can't afford either one of them, don't get it. If you can't afford this, do not get it. I would recommend putting a pretty big down payment on it. That way you're not car poor for the rest of your life, because these are expensive. I mean, they retail at $38,000 as the MSRP, a little above that. So make sure you can afford it before you look at either of these. If you have any comments, questions, leave them below. Sorry this video is a little rambled and unorganized, but I wanted to get outside and enjoy the weather while it's here. Have a good rest of the weekend. See you guys next time. Be safe out there.